Welcome to Story Planet, where every tale is a journey filled with discovery and warmth. Here, we explore stories that take us to new places, whether near or far, reminding us that life's most meaningful experiences often come from the journeys we take together. Tonight, let us join 4 travelers as they find unexpected connections and timeless wisdom during a rainy stop at a cozy countryside bakery. Get cozy, relax, and let your imagination take the wheel as we explore new horizons together. The journey begins now. The rain break changed everything. The rain had started as a light drizzle, gradually intensifying into a steady downpour that soaked the countryside in a misty, serene hush. For 4 travelers, each on a personal journey, the rain was a welcome companion, a gentle reminder to slow down and savor the moment. As they meandered through winding roads, their paths converged in a quiet, picturesque corner of the countryside. Here, nestled on a square plot of land that seemed almost magical, they discovered an old, rustic bakery. The bakery stood alone, slightly off the road, giving it an almost otherworldly charm. Surrounded by fields that stretched toward the horizon and bordered by a tranquil pond, the bakery seemed as if it had been plucked from the pages of a fairy tale. The pond's surface rippled gently with the falling rain, reflecting the gray sky and the lush green fields. The setting was enchanting, offering a perfect blend of natural beauty and rustic comfort. As the travelers approached, they couldn't help but admire the bakery's unique location. There was no signboard to identify the place, just the inviting glow of warm light spilling through the windows. The bakery's charm lay in its simplicity, its unspoken invitation to step inside and experience something special. The sight of the bakery, standing proudly amidst the countryside with the pond on one side and fields stretching out on the other, made it feel like a hidden sanctuary, inviting those passing by to pause and take refuge from the rain. One by one, the travelers were drawn to the bakery's door. The promise of warmth, combined with the irresistible smell of fresh bread and sweet pastries, pulled them inside. As they entered, they were immediately enveloped by the comforting aroma of freshly baked goods, mingling with the scent of herbal teas brewing in the background. The interior of the bakery was as inviting as its exterior, a haven of rustic charm and homely comfort. The wooden beams overhead and the rich, polished oak floors spoke of generations past, while the flickering light of a wood-burning stove added a cozy warmth that made the space feel timeless. The walls were adorned with framed photographs of the surrounding countryside, each capturing the changing seasons in all their glory. Shelves lined with jars of preserves, homemade pickles, and fresh honey added to the bakery's charm, each jar neatly labeled in the baker's neat, looping script. The tables were draped in simple cloths, and each one held a small vase of wildflowers picked from the nearby fields. The menu, handwritten on a chalkboard behind the counter, offered a selection of traditional American countryside treats. There were warm apple pies, buttery biscuits, and freshly baked loaves of bread, all made from recipes passed down through generations. The bakery also offered a variety of herbal teas, brewed from locally sourced herbs that filled the room with a soothing fragrance. Mrs. Thompson, the baker, was known for her special cinnamon rolls, which were soft, sweet, and perfectly spiced, as well as her savory cornbread that paired beautifully with the hearty soups she often made. Behind the counter stood Mrs. Thompson, an older woman with a kind smile and a warm, welcoming presence. Her apron was dusted with flour, and her hands were busy kneading dough, but she always took a moment to greet each traveler as they entered. The rich aroma of baking bread and simmering soups filled the air, making the bakery feel like a place where time slowed down and worries melted away. With only a few tables available, the travelers naturally gravitated toward the same one. Though they were strangers, the shared experience of seeking refuge from the rain and the cozy ambiance of the bakery made it easy to connect. As they settled in, the rain continued to fall outside, creating a soothing backdrop for the conversations that would soon unfold. Emily's story, the writer's inspiration. Emily, a writer who had been struggling to find her creative spark, was the first to open up. She had come to the countryside hoping to rediscover the inspiration that had once fueled her passion for storytelling. But instead, she found herself stuck, unable to write a single word. As she sat in the bakery, surrounded by the warmth of the space and the gentle hum of quiet conversations, Emily began to relax. The simplicity of the setting, the aroma of fresh bread, and the company of new friends slowly began to stir something within her. Watching the rain outside, Emily felt a sense of peace that had eluded her for so long. She realized that inspiration wasn't something she needed to chase. It was all around her, in the quiet beauty of the countryside, in the comforting rhythm of daily life, and in the stories of the people she met. For the first time in months, Emily felt her creative spark returning, not through force, but through gentle acceptance of the moment. The bakery had given her more than just shelter from the rain. It had given her a fresh perspective. Mark's story, Rediscovering Culinary Joy. Mark, a chef who had left behind the high-pressure world of fine dining, had been traveling to rediscover his passion for cooking. The joy he once found in food had been lost in the demands of his previous life, and he wasn't sure if he could ever get it back. But as he sat in the bakery, savoring the aroma of freshly baked bread and the simple yet delicious fare on the menu, Mark began to remember why he had fallen in love with cooking in the first place. The rustic charm of the bakery, the warmth of the wood-burning stove, and the sight of Mrs. Thompson kneading dough by hand reminded him of the simple joys of creating something with care and love. The bakery wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about nourishing the body and soul with food made from the heart. As Mark took in the scene around him, he felt a rekindling of his passion for cooking. He realized that his culinary journey didn't need to be grand or ambitious. It just needed to be genuine and filled with love. Lena's story, capturing life's beauty. Lena, a photographer who had spent years chasing the perfect shot, found herself feeling increasingly disconnected from her work. She had traveled to countless remote locations, capturing stunning images of landscapes and wildlife. But lately, her photos felt empty, devoid of the emotion that had once driven her. Sitting in the bakery, however, something shifted within her. As she watched the rain-soaked fields through the window, Lena saw beauty in the small, quiet moments, the way the light reflected off the pond, the laughter of the villagers as they shared stories, and the warmth that filled the room. She realized that she had been so focused on capturing the extraordinary that she had forgotten the simple, everyday beauty that surrounded her. The bakery, with its cozy charm and sense of community, reminded her that sometimes the most meaningful images are the ones that capture life as it is. Imperfect, yet full of love and warmth. Sam's story, the teacher's reflection. Sam, a teacher who had taken a sabbatical to find clarity and simplicity, had been feeling lost in the stillness. He had hoped that stepping away from his busy life would help him find answers, but instead, it had only left him feeling adrift. However, as he sat in the bakery, surrounded by new friends and the comforting ambiance of the countryside, Sam began to see things differently. The simplicity of the bakery, the peacefulness of the rain, and the genuine connections he was forming with the other travelers helped Sam realize that clarity wasn't something to be found. It was something to be felt. The quiet moments, the shared laughter, and the warmth of the place all pointed to the same truth. That a simple life, filled with love and connection, was all he truly needed. The answers he had been searching for were already within him. He just needed to embrace the simplicity of the moment. The rain break that changed everything. As the rain continued to fall outside, the travelers found themselves reluctant to leave the warmth of the bakery. The conversations they had shared were more than just passing stories. They had created connections that felt deep and meaningful. Night had fallen, and with the rain still pouring, they inquired with Mrs. Thompson about a place to stay. With a kind smile, she offered them a guest room at the back of the bakery where they could stay the night. The room was small but cozy, with soft lighting and a simple charm that matched the bakery's atmosphere. They decided to make the most of their unexpected stay. Together, they grilled food, brewed coffee, and continued their conversations late into the night. They spoke not just of their pasts, but of their hopes for the future, each encouraging the others to pursue their dreams and embrace the changes they felt within. By the time they drifted off to sleep, they knew their lives had taken on new dimensions. The rain, which had initially been a reason to stop, had become a symbol of renewal and change. The simple act of taking a break had led them to insights, friendships, and a shared determination to live more fully. a promise for the future. The next morning, the travelers woke up to a world that felt fresh and full of possibilities. The rain had cleared, leaving the countryside glistening under a bright sky. As they looked out at the new horizon before them, they felt a deep sense of gratitude, not just for the break, but for the connections they had made. They realized that true love, friendship, and meaningful relationships don't always come from familiar circles. Sometimes they are found in the most unexpected places, with people who were once strangers. Over a final cup of coffee, they made a promise to meet up at Mrs. Thompson's bakery every year, to share stories, spend time together, and stay the night before departing once more. They knew that the bakery, with Mrs. Thompson's love and hospitality, had become more than just a place to rest. It was now a part of their story, a symbol of the warmth and connection they had found. The villagers' simple but awesome lives had also left an impression on them, reminding them of the value of community and the joy of welcoming others. As they said their goodbyes and set off on their separate ways, they knew this was just the beginning. Mrs. Thompson was no longer just the baker. She was now part of their family, someone they would look forward to seeing each year. The rain break had indeed changed everything, opening new horizons and bringing them closer to the true essence of travel. Meeting new people, discovering unexpected connections, and finding a home in the hearts of others. As they each continued on their journeys, they carried with them a deeper understanding of life. They realized that a simple and peaceful life is always better. By showing love toward everything, they had begun to see the positivity around them. It may take time to inhabit or inculcate this mindset, but eventually it happens, and when it does, you feel the difference. Love and be loved. That's the key to finding peace and happiness in every moment. This message stayed with them, a reminder that life's most meaningful experiences come not from what we accumulate, but from how we connect, care, and cherish the simple joys. It was a lesson they would carry in their hearts forever, guiding them through every new chapter of their lives. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey through Story Planet. If this tale of connection, warmth, and a timely halt at the bakery resonated with you, remember that change often begins with a single step, or a simple pause. If you believe in the power of these stories to bring positivity into your life, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Together, we can continue to explore new paths, embrace meaningful moments, and find joy in every journey. See you next time.